Big tech's AI spending spree is causing CapEx to balloon into the tens of billions of dollars per quarter. That includes Microsoft, one of the biggest spenders. Our own Steve Kovac joins us to break down the impact of all these huge numbers. Steve.
Yeah, Mike, and it might even be the biggest spender. Microsoft's ending 2024 spending at least $53 billion in capital expenditures, and we don't even have the latest numbers for the current quarter we're in yet. We'll get that in a few weeks. Nearly all of that is for artificial intelligence. That means NVIDIA chips, data centers, and other related infrastructure for those data centers. And it's not going to stop anytime soon. Microsoft implied to expect around $20 billion in these capital expenditures each quarter going into 2025. The risk, of course, investors losing their patience for a return on all that massive spending. And by the way, Microsoft doesn't even know when that's going to happen. CEO Satya Nadella and CFO Amy Hood on recent earnings calls have said the AI demand is there and Microsoft is going to keep spending in order to meet it. Over the last year, Microsoft separately has announced at least 20 investments of $1 billion or more at various locations around the globe. That includes Spain, India, Indonesia, London, here in the United States, and many more. Those aren't just data centers. Those are training programs and other things related to artificial intelligence investment. Meantime, don't have a clear view yet on how well Microsoft's suite of AI products are selling. Microsoft has said it's on track to generate $10 billion worth of AI-related sales this year. That's after spending about $70 billion probably by the year end. A lot of that is coming from the Azure cloud business, but still no concrete disclosures from Microsoft on that or the rest. That includes Copilot Plus PCs, which launched this year, but without its marquee AI feature that was called Recall. Microsoft said in May it expected to sell 50 million Copilot Plus PCs over the course of a year, but no indication it's on pace to meet that goal. Also, no clue how well Copilot for Businesses is selling after more than a year on the market. I've heard from a few CTOs that 2025 is going to be the year they assess if Copilot is worth the enormous cost and either spend more or cut back on it. And then, of course, there's OpenAI. Its losses are now bleeding over to Microsoft, its biggest benefactor. Microsoft said it expects OpenAI's losses to shave a few cents off its EPS in the December quarter, about $1.5 billion. And finally, there's the consumer. Outside of the enterprise business, Microsoft hired Mustafa Suleyman to be CEO of AI at Microsoft back this spring. But right now, he's reliant on OpenAI for product development of the latest and greatest AI features that eventually make their way into Microsoft products, guys.
Steve, we were talking about Copilot in particular earlier on the broadcast, in light of course, what has been a lackluster performance for the stock this year, at least versus its mega cap brethren. You know, what are you hearing? I know it's all anecdotal.
Right.
I hear it, I'm sure you do, from the enterprise in terms of the usage of Copilot. Disappointed, happy? I'm just curious to get your thoughts.
It's all over the map, but basically no one has a very solid answer of whether or not it's worth that $30 per user per month. That is a huge premium on top of the normal price CTOs tend to pay for their companies for, the regular apps, the Outlook, Word, things that you and I use every day. This is extra, and it's really hard to just quantify that. And I've talked to a number of CTOs all this year, and a lot of them are saying, yes, we've seen success. We've done pilot programs with a few hundred people here and there. And then this year, going into 2025, that's when the CFO comes in and says, is it really worth this cost? Should we spend more or pull back on spending and kind of end these little pilot programs we've been doing? You hear a lot of anecdotes from Microsoft as well, too, David, but nothing concrete as far as how many seats they're selling.
Yeah, well, for a company, as you just said, that's poised to spend $80 billion on CapEx next year, on cloud and AI at least, you would imagine investors are going to be very much focused on that.
They
Steve,
sure
thank
are.
you.